There are inevitable junctures in your personal timeline when clarity vanishes. You find yourself adrift, genuinely uncertain whether to persist on your current path or decisively abandon it, whether to engage in the exhausting battle or simply acquiesce. The modern world assaults us with incessant noise, transient life hacks, instant success metrics, and countless guides promising immediate, easy happiness. However, the foundational teachings of the Stoics never offered temporary satisfaction. Their curriculum was the cultivation of unyielding inner strength. Millennia ago, emerging from ages defined by relentless warfare, devastating personal losses, and pervasive mortality, titans of philosophy, such as Marcus Aurelius, Seneca, and Epictetus, bequeathed a legacy of deceptively simple precepts that have proven more durable than the empires they governed. Their words endured not because of stylistic elegance, but because of their absolute, verifiable truth. These ancient, fundamental principles, these mantras, may appear elementary, yet grasping their deep significance can fundamentally re-architect your worldview. Their diligent practice holds the power to permanently alter your life's trajectory. Today, I will illuminate 7 cornerstone Stoic mantras. These are the 7 spiritual guides that once illuminated the path for Marcus Aurelius, Seneca, and Epictetus, and they possess the identical capacity to navigate you through your own unique, inevitable storm. Mantra 1. Make haste slowly. An enduring Roman aphorism articulates this. Festina Lente. It translates to, make haste slowly. This presents a critical life paradox. The more frantically you rush through life, the further you seem to lag behind. Conversely, the more deliberate and calm your movements, the greater your actual progress. This was the operational doctrine of Emperor Augustus, the man responsible for the formidable reconstruction of Rome from the widespread devastation of civil war. He exemplified disciplined velocity, never succumbing to impulse. He understood a truth frequently lost in our contemporary, hyper-accelerated culture. Genuine velocity is not a matter of physical pace. It is derived entirely from the clarity of your mental state. Before committing to a decision, he imposed mandatory silence. Before allowing himself the momentary luxury of anger, it is said he methodically recited the entire alphabet. This was his profound recognition that a single, uncontrolled outburst of rage possesses the power to obliterate achievements that required a lifetime to accumulate. Marcus Aurelius received this identical instruction from his own tutors. Never initiate action when driven by raw emotion. Action should be executed only when your cognitive state is perfectly tranquil. We inhabit a culture obsessed with immediacy, where frantic movement is prized, yet there is little authentic sense of destination. The Stoics prescribe the inverse. Proceed deliberately slowly, allowing yourself the cognitive space to proceed correctly. Once your directional accuracy is verified, the variable of sheer speed becomes secondary. Military doctrine maintains that slow is smooth and smooth is fast. A soldier who acts with reckless haste often meets an early demise. A leader who operates under duress steers his people towards certain failure. And a man who allows his composure to fracture forfeits control over every aspect of his reality. True power is never located in acceleration. It is found in unflinching stillness, because when your actions are conducted with total calm, your efficiency invariably surpasses that of the man governed by reactive emotion. Mantra 2. Strong mind, strong body. Stoic philosophy fundamentally rejects the separation of the mind and the physical form. They constitute an integrated unity, the spirit housed within its dedicated vessel. Currently, Millions consume literature on mental self-improvement. Yet they concurrently neglect the condition of their own bodies. They intensely desire mental fortitude, yet they overlook the fact that willpower finds its physical residence within the disciplined muscle. Marcus Aurelius served not only as an emperor, but also as a military leader. He rigorously trained, participated in combat, and directed legions through arduous, freezing campaigns and periods of severe sleep deprivation. Seneca, despite his high status as a statesman, observed an annual ritual of deliberate hardship, engaging in fasting and subjecting himself to cold exposure to ensure his mental fortitude never softened. Even Socrates, the quintessential philosophical icon, did not lecture from luxurious comfort. He purposefully traversed miles each day, disseminating his wisdom in the exposed, public spaces of the Athenian marketplace, deliberately avoiding warm, protected lecture halls. They all shared one unbreakable conviction. A truly strong and resilient mind can only thrive within a body that has been trained to actively reject weakness. Theodore Roosevelt, a contemporary exemplar of this Stoic resilience, began life as a delicate, asthmatic child. This trajectory changed when his father delivered a stark appraisal. "You possess the intellect, Theodore, but you fundamentally lack the physical casing. If you desire a life lived to its fullest capacity, you must construct that body." The young Roosevelt accepted the decree, declaring, "Then I shall construct my body." From that day, Roosevelt pursued relentless training, engaging in boxing, long-distance hiking, and exhaustive endurance building. He labeled this philosophy the strenuous life, a commitment to deliberate struggle. He ritualistically converted his innate fragility into a binding personal vow, transforming physical pain into a source of power through the pure expression of discipline. He evolved into one of the most physically and psychologically formidable presidents in American history. Your body functions as the essential carriage for your soul. If that carriage is neglected and fragile, your mind will succumb to exhaustion. If it is vigorously strengthened, your mind will possess the foundation upon which it can confidently ascend. Seneca provided the stern reminder: treat the body rigorously, so it cannot betray the mind. The reality is that a physically fragile vessel will invariably drag the strength of the spirit down with it. Mantra 3. From struggle comes strength. The contemporary individual is conditioned to recoil from pain, fear, personal loss, loneliness, and professional failure. This pervasive avoidance, ironically, is the slow drain that depletes their intrinsic strength. The Stoic philosophers never offered prayers for an easy, frictionless existence. Instead, their constant plea was for the necessary fortitude to endure an arduous one. Friedrich Nietzsche later echoed this ancient sentiment. "What does not kill you makes you definitively stronger." Seneca wrote with compassion, "I feel pity for those who have never encountered genuine adversity, for they have been tragically deprived of the opportunity to discover their true nature." When life propels you into profound chaos, the loss of a career, the fracturing of belief, or the bereavement of a loved one, your existential options reduce to two: complete fragmentation or a forceful spiritual rebirth. Some profound emotional injuries are not inflicted with the purpose of annihilation. They exist specifically to precipitate an awakening. Some pain is not delivered as punishment. It arrives as irrefutable evidence that your inherent resilience exceeds your imagination. Marcus Aurelius employed the powerful analogy of the human spirit as a fire. Regardless of the material you cast onto it, the fire's immutable nature is to convert that input into illuminating light and sustaining heat. Pain is not an agent of your death. It is the forge of your character. Adversity's function is not to suppress you. It is a profound force designed to push you to ascend. The Stoics did not deliberately seek out self-inflicted misery, but when suffering inevitably arrived, they embraced it. They recognized that every single hardship is a customized test, uniquely constructed for the individual facing it. No other person can fully inhabit your pain. Consequently, no one else can lay claim to the specific, profound strength that enduring that pain will bestow upon you. When you successfully navigate suffering and emerge psychologically integrated, you achieve something beyond mere survival. You are spiritually reborn. Modern psychology now labels this concept post-traumatic growth. The Stoics possessed this knowledge 2 millennia earlier. Every instance of hardship carries one single, profound objective: not to shatter you, but to build you into an unbreakable entity. Mantra 4. Amor fati, love your fate. Imagine a thought experiment. If you were mandated to fully re-experience your entire life, every specific detail, every mistake, every profound heartache, would your honest answer be yes? If your genuine answer is no, you have not yet penetrated the profound meaning of amor fati. This principle transcends simple acceptance. It is the cultivation of an active, conscious love for everything that was never your choice. The Stoics never wasted energy demanding, "Why is this happening to me?" Their question was always directional and constructive. Given this reality, what is the greatest good I can create from it? They reframed betrayal, debilitating loss, and systemic failure not as catastrophic tragedies, but as the essential raw material required to forge an unbreakable spirit. The consuming fire does not select its fuel. Its function is simply to convert everything presented to it into light. You, similarly, cannot select your hardships, but you possess the exclusive power to convert them into motivational fuel. Marcus Aurelius, who personally confronted relentless warfare, chronic illness, and political betrayal, maintained his conviction, writing, "Love what happens to you." His injunction was not merely to tolerate it, but to genuinely love it, founded on the conviction that it was inherently intended for your development. Envision a life where every significant setback functions not as a curse, but as a devoted teacher. How fundamentally different would your response to life become? When a confidant betrays your trust, offer gratitude for the lesson that clearly illustrates the true boundaries of trust. When your professional career collapses, express thanks for the forceful realization that your core identity is separate from any job title. When loss strikes, thank the event for compelling you to immediately awaken to what possesses authentic, lasting significance. The Stoics asserted that every event is perfectly chosen for your evolution. Your mandate is to convert that event into a fire that sustains a brighter illumination than ever before. When you practice amor fati, you cease existing as a passive victim of life. You assume the role of its active co-author. Therefore, embrace your fate. Because whether you permit yourself bitterness or choose conscious embrace, the path remains yours to traverse. The only difference lies in whether your journey is defined by resentment or liberated by freedom. Mantra 5. Negative visualization, premeditatio malorum. Contemporary culture is deeply invested in the dogma of positive thinking. The current doctrine instructs you to visualize absolute success, mentally attract good fortune, and maintain the belief that every variable will conform to your preference. The Stoics prescribe the cognitive antidote. Do not exclusively imagine the favorable outcome, actively rehearse the detrimental ones. Seneca defined this essential practice as premeditatio malorum, the systematic meditation on misfortune. If you prepare to embark on a journey, Mentally rehearse the possibility of severe storms. If you commit capital, contemplate the inevitability of financial loss. If you cultivate affection, confront the reality of future separation. This is not an exercise in destructive pessimism. It is a discipline to ensure you are never caught in a state of unprepared shock. Seneca observed that the unexpected blow lands with the most devastating impact. Many individuals harbor a deep fear of consciously imagining the worst-case scenario, erroneously believing it invites bad fortune. This is misplaced superstition. Preparation is strength. Only those who have prepared rigorously can inhabit a state of psychological peace. A masterful military general immediately asks, what catastrophic outcome occurs if the opposing force attacks from an entirely unforeseen direction? A prudent parent contemplates, should I be removed from the equation tomorrow? What resources and systems remain for my children? A visionary entrepreneur structurally prepares for operational failure, not out of negativity, but because of the certain knowledge that the external world guarantees nothing. Marcus Aurelius taught that nothing occurs to the wise individual contrary to expectation, because the wise have already considered the full spectrum of possibilities. Do not passively wait for chaos to arrive to teach you composure. Practice inner stillness before chaos manifests. Daily, pose the foundational inquiry to yourself. If I were stripped of everything I possess, what fundamental essence would still remain? If the worst possible scenario were realized, what internal resilience could I still preserve? The answer, once this practice is internalized, will be profound serenity. The Stoic prayer is not, may all variables proceed smoothly. It is the internal declaration, even if absolutely nothing proceeds smoothly, I will remain intact. Mantra 6. Character is fate. If you seek definitive insight into a person's ultimate future, scrutinize their character. No miraculous external intervention possesses the capacity to fundamentally alter an outcome if the core nature of the individual remains unchanged. The individual defined by avarice will eventually be consumed by their own greed. The perpetual liar will be psychologically crushed beneath the sheer weight of his fabricated narratives. Conversely, the genuinely humble spirit is elevated and sustained by the natural passage of time itself. Marcus Aurelius possessed absolute total power, yet he intentionally abstained from becoming a tyrant. Nero, inheriting similar power, presided over the burning of his entire empire. The disparity was not external fortune, the difference was character. Marcus documented in Meditations, consciously avoid men devoid of virtue. They will inevitably lower you to their own level. He also wisely advised, do not display shock when they commit betrayal. They are simply fulfilling their intrinsic nature. Musonius Rufus once granted financial assistance to a man notorious for his avarice. When onlookers expressed shock, asking, why reward such a man? Rufus replied, because that money is precisely what his nature requires. It will destroy him more swiftly than I ever could. Character is the immutable architect of destiny. Sooner or later, every individual is obligated to live within the precise consequences determined by who they fundamentally are. Marcus Aurelius possessed every conceivable avenue to transform into a dictator, yet he steadfastly refused to become Caesarified. He maintained a daily internal battle, a commitment to remaining kind, fundamentally humble, and rigidly just. That internal discipline constituted his single greatest victory, the triumph over his own potential self. When you adopt the lens of virtue to observe others, you eliminate the possibility of disappointment. You cease to be susceptible to transient charm, hollow promises, or impulsive emotion. You begin to perceive reality with crystalline clarity. Every person operates according to their essential nature. With this understanding, bitterness dissolves. You stop cursing the cosmos. You simply choose your path with deliberate wisdom. Because character does not merely dictate who you evolve into. It serves as the ultimate filter that decides who earns the right to remain in your life. Mantra 7. Memento mori, remember you will die. This constitutes the final mantra, and paradoxically, it is the most potent of the entire collection. Its premise sounds inherently dark and potentially terrifying. Yet, this realization represents the single greatest truth the Stoics ever imparted. Because it is only when you achieve a profound, sustained awareness that your life is finite, that you will eventually die, that you truly commence the process of living. Seneca famously observed, "We do not die once. We die a little every day." Each morning you awaken, the time remaining in your account is measurably less than it was 24 hours prior. Every conversation, every shared meal, every transient moment that passes represents a fragment of your finite existence that is irrevocably lost. Marcus Aurelius routinely reminded himself, "You could leave this life right now." That immediate existential truth must become the guiding determinant for every thought, word, and action you undertake. We engage in procrastination because we operate under the dangerous illusion of infinite time. But does that certainty truly belong to you? No individual possesses the knowledge of whether they will awaken tomorrow. If you possessed the absolute certainty that today marked your final full day, would you still consent to squander it, immersed in anger, corrosive jealousy, or paralysis by fear? Memento mori is not delivered as a curse. It is the most urgent, necessary wake-up call. It delivers the undeniable instruction that time is the singular currency you truly possess, and you are actively losing it, second by second. When you internalize the fact of your mortality, you finally begin to live fully. There is no longer space for needless concern over external opinions. The debilitating fear of failure vanishes. Hesitation becomes irrelevant. Your life reduces to one singular, urgent mission: to inhabit every remaining second with complete, purposeful intensity. The path to the untouchable soul. The 7 foundational mantras of Stoicism are not archaic theories relegated to forgotten, dusty scrolls. They represent 7 arrows, meticulously forged in the heat of existential fire, designed to pierce through the veil of time and aim directly at the core of the human spirit. Commit to one single mantra, just one, and conscientiously practice its tenets for one day. You will observe a definitive, tangible shift. You will experience increased calm, profound strength, and crystalline clarity. If you commit to practicing it every day, the quality of your life will be permanently redefined. Because when you deliberately integrate these 7 truths into your life, you stop existing in a state of pursuit. You stop chasing happiness. You become it. Still, aware, unbreakable. That is the essence of the Stoic path. Its goal is not to force you to become an artificial version of yourself. It is to provide the disciplined structure that allows you to return to the essence of who you truly are. A steady, resilient soul standing firm in a tempestuous world.